From punching an old man right in the face, to launching water bottles at his opponents. Here's why Conor McGregor needs to go to rehab. I mean, he literally assaulted an old man. Of all people, that too for absolutely no reason. See, the Notorious was at a bar, offering his free shots of his proper number 12 Irish whiskey to people. But when he approached this older man, things took a nasty turn. The old guy turned down the free booze, and that set McGregor off like a firecracker. In a fit of rage, the lightweight star threw a punch at the poor man. Luckily, others jumped in to break up the scuffle before things got even messier. But the damage was done, and people weren't too thrilled with Conor's antics, to say the least. Even True Geordie, a former superfan of McGregor, couldn't hold back his disappointment. Everyone was fed up with the fighter's behavior, and rightfully so. Conor did issue an apology later on, realizing he went way too far. But here comes the weird part. Instead of just leaving it at that, he went ahead and bought the very pub where the whole thing went down. And guess what? He straight up banned the poor man from ever setting foot in there again. Talk about being petty. But that's not even the worst thing he's ever done. Like, how could I forget about that bus incident? It all started back in 2018, when a video surfaced online showing the Eagle slapping Artem Lobov, who happened to be a close friend of McGregor. And that didn't sit well with the Irishman. Not one bit. So, what did McGregor do? He hopped on a private jet with his crew and flew straight to New York City. When they landed, things took a wild turn. Here's what happened. McGregor and his group intercepted a bus leaving the Barclays Center right after the UFC 223 media day. Now, you won't believe who was on that bus. None other than Khabib Nurmagomedov himself, along with a bunch of other fighters. It was like a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. So without any second thoughts, McGregor went all out. With his crew backing him up, he launched an attack on the bus. Yeah, I'm not kidding. He actually went for it. The scene was absolutely bonkers, and trust me, it became one of those moments that people couldn't stop talking about. With a metal hand truck or dolly in hand, McGregor smashed a window on that bus. Can you imagine the chaos and panic that must have erupted inside? Unfortunately, a couple of fighters, Michael Chiesa and Ray Borg, got caught in the crossfire and ended up with injuries that forced them to withdraw from their upcoming fights. Well, as you can probably guess, things got pretty serious after that. The law wasn't going to let McGregor off the hook easily. A warrant was issued for his arrest, marking the first major legal trouble in his career. But what truly ruined his entire image were all the assault charges. McGregor has faced these accusations multiple times. The first allegation came in March 2019. She claimed it happened at a hotel in Dublin back in December 2018. Then, just to make matters worse, in October 2019, he faced a second accusation of sexual assault in Ireland. This time, the alleged victim said it happened in a car. Now, it's important to note that McGregor has never been formally charged by the authorities for all these allegations, but just the fact that they exist has cast a dark shadow over his reputation. And just when you thought it was over, there's yet another allegation to add to the mix. In June 2023, McGregor was accused of assaulting a woman in a restroom during Game 4 of the NBA Finals in Miami. According to legal documents and statements from the alleged victim's lawyer, he violently forced himself on her and engaged in aggressive kissing. Of course, McGregor's attorney denies these latest allegations, stating that the claimant's lawyer has changed her story after the release of a video by TMZ. McGregor's side insists that the claims are false and that he welcomes the investigation to clear his name. They even suggest that the alleged victim's lawyer is attempting to extort money from McGregor. Not only does he have a bunch of assault allegations to his name, but he even mocked the dead. Henry Cejudo made it clear that he wants nothing to do with training or coaching McGregor, and when you look at what McGregor said in the past, it's not hard to understand why. You see, back in 2020, Khabib Nurmagomedov's father, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, sadly passed away because of complications from COVID. After Dustin Poirier defeated McGregor at UFC 264, Khabib tweeted in support of Poirier, saying that good always wins over evil. Well, McGregor didn't take that too well. He took to Twitter and responded in a way that left everyone pretty shocked. He basically asked if Khabib's logic meant that COVID was the good guy and his late father was the bad guy. Yikes. It was a pretty harsh and insensitive thing to say. He quickly realized his mistake and deleted the tweet, but the damage was already done. With that tweet, McGregor took his ongoing feud with Khabib to a whole new level. It's no wonder that Cejudo wants nothing to do with him. McGregor's words can be downright hurtful and disrespectful. especially when it comes to sensitive topics like someone's late father. But that wasn't the only time McGregor attacked someone's family. He even made a tweet about Dustin Poirier's daughter. Now, we all know McGregor has a knack for stirring up drama, but this time he went to a whole new level. Instead of targeting Poirier or even his wife like he had done in the past, McGregor took a disturbing route. He posted a picture of Poirier's young daughter on Twitter and captioned it, "Gonzo." Yeah, it was a clear and alarming threat. As you can imagine, the backlash was immediate and intense. Fans from all over the world were disgusted and outraged by McGregor's tweet. I mean, you just don't go after someone's kids like that. McGregor quickly deleted the tweet. But you know that on the internet, once something's out there, it's out there for good. It wasn't just Poirier's daughter that he went after. Man even sent death threats to Dustin himself. But that was just a threat. There have been times when he's crossed the line, without a care in the world. Like the time he went off at Bellator 187, McGregor was at the event to support his teammate, Charlie Ward, who was making his debut in Bellator. Now, it's important to note that McGregor was there as an audience member, and not as a licensed cornerman for Ward. During the fight, Ward landed a solid knockdown on his opponent, and it seemed like the fight was about to be called off. But here's where things took a crazy turn. McGregor's excitement got the best of him, and he just couldn't contain himself. He decided to storm into the cage to celebrate with Ward. Well, as you can imagine, the referee, Dan Murgliata, wasn't too thrilled about this unexpected intrusion. He quickly stepped in to stop McGregor from interfering with the fight. But McGregor, in his heated moment, actually tried to hit the referee and ended up landing a blow on the already downed opponent as well. Eventually, after some intense struggle, McGregor was separated from the scene. But that didn't stop him from straddling the cage and continuing his celebration. At one point, a Bellator official tried to intervene and calm the situation, but McGregor ended up slapping him too. Naturally, this incident didn't go down well with the MMA community and fans alike. McGregor faced a lot of criticism for his actions. It's understandable to be excited for your teammates' success, but there are limits, and McGregor definitely crossed them that night, just like he did at the UFC 202 pre-fight scrap. Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz. These two had some serious beef in the UFC, and it all started with their first face-off. Diaz managed to hand McGregor a defeat, submitting him with a rear-naked choke. But their story didn't end there. They were scheduled for a highly anticipated rematch at UFC 202. The tension was palpable during the pre-fight press conference. McGregor and Diaz couldn't resist exchanging some fiery words. And then, in the middle of the intense banter, something unexpected happened. Nate Diaz decided to walk off the stage. McGregor, never one to back down, started berating Diaz and his team. But here's where things really got crazy. Diaz's team didn't take McGregor's words lightly and started pelting him with water bottles on stage. Well, McGregor wasn't about to be on the receiving end without fighting back. He grabbed water bottles and cans and launched them right back at his rivals. It was a chaotic exchange, with Dana White, the UFC president, desperately trying to calm the situation down. Unfortunately, McGregor's actions didn't go unnoticed. The Nevada State Athletic Commission wasn't pleased with his behavior, and they slapped him with a hefty fine of $150,000. On top of that, he was sentenced to 50 hours of community service. So from launching water bottles at his opponents, to punching an old man right in the face, this was why Conor McGregor needs to go to rehab.